Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Crowell Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Softball Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Cynthia Field as the Region Sports Network presents live coverage of Indiana High School softball as the visiting Penn Kingsmen take on the host, Crown Point Bulldogs. I'm Leo Stauderher, and I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's action as we have a good one here in Crown Point, two of the top teams in the state meeting on the diamond in this non-conference showdown on a Friday evening, so let's set the stage. Getting ready for first pitch, we will meet the starting lineups. Tonight's batting lineups are sponsored by Great Lakes Sports Hub, combining world-class facilities, cutting-edge technologies, and community support into one unified platform for athlete development. First, for the visitors from Penn, they enter with a record of 16-2, 7-0 against the Northern Indiana foes in their conference. They are 7-0 on road games. They have won their last three while scoring 174 runs, allowing just 57. The lineup from head coach Beth Zachary is as follows. Carson Petty leads off, plays third base. Charlie Swiger plays short, bats second. Logan Rumble bats third, plays right field. Easton Maston is in the cleanup spot. She plays first base. Addison Begonia will be batting fifth while playing left field. Kaya Geringer will be the center fielder. She bats sixth. Harper Rumble will bat seventh. She is the designated player. Addison Zachary will be in the eighth spot. She plays second base. And Phoebe Wood will be behind the plate. She bats ninth. That is the 1 through 9 for Penn. And now for Crown Point, here's the lineup from head coach Angie Rich-Walski. Her squad 15-3-1 on the year, 9-1 in Duneland play. They are 8-1 on their home field. They have won their last 7 games, scoring 182 runs and allowing just 41. The Bulldogs lineup will be featuring Scarlett Tegman patrolling center field, leading off. Lulu Johnston plays short, bats second. Ashlyn Kita plays third and bats third. Evie Cuevas will be behind the plate. She bats in the cleanup spot. Eva Govert will be playing second, batting fifth. Anna Neal bats sixth, plays left field. Elle Chisholm will be playing first base while batting seventh. Stella Dauphin is a designated player. She bats eighth. And Ellis Slavena will be playing right field while batting ninth. And now we will step aside. When we come back, we will preview the starting pitchers and get you ready for game time between the Bulldogs and the Kingsmen. So stick around. That's coming up next. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse Technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Strack & Van Til was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Strack & Van Til.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's Insurance Professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
There was the national anthem, which means we are just about ready to play ball, and we will take a look at who is in the circle for each team. It's time to introduce the starting pitchers for tonight's game. That means we'll turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. For the home team, they will be sending their ace, Paige Lazert, to the circle. She's 11-1 on the year in 15 appearances, 5 complete games, a .86 earned run average over 81 1/3 innings pitched. With just 42 hits scattered throughout those, she has allowed 18 runs, 10 of which were earned, striking out 150 batters while walking just 12. For the visiting Penn Kingsmen, they will counter with Caitlin Denny, an ace in her own right, 8-0 record for Denny, 1.88 ERA, 41 innings pitched, 27 hits throughout those. She has allowed 17 runs, while just 11 have been earned, walking 17 batters and striking out 47. Those are your Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. As we take a look at the conditions here at Cynthia Field, the game night forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast just before first pitch in Crown Point, it's 64 degrees. It's a cloudy day, but now we're seeing some blue sky peeking out through those clouds. There's a light wind blowing in from right field. Sunset expected to occur around 7:54. And then temperatures will drop into the 50s once we get past that point, as that is the game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. So Lazert goes through her final warm-up tosses. The Bulldogs will be looking to defend their home field against a team they are very familiar with. These two met in the semi-state championship last early summer, we'll call it, on June 7th. Crown Point would get the win 4-2 en route to a state championship, and that they would secure a week later. It was a game in which the Kingsmen struck first in the first inning with an inside-the-park home run. Then Crown Point countered with a 4-run crooked number in the bottom half of that inning, and that would be all the offense they needed, taking a 4-2 win to defeat the Kingsmen on their way to a state championship. Paige Lazert is ready. The right-hander sends a pitch low and away at 5:20. We are officially underway here in Crown Point. Lazert opposing Petty. Petty bats left-handed. Lazert winds and fires, another one outside, so the count starts 2-0. For Petty in the batter's box, knowing a pitcher in Lazert that has walked just 12 batters in over 81 innings of work, you figure you're in a spot that very few batters are in, being ahead in a count against a tough right-hander. The 2-0 cracked foul. So very seldom does a batter have maybe leverage against Lazert, but a couple of takes to start the count puts her in ahead, 2 balls and a strike. Petty bats .362. Lazert's pitch sends the fastball, gets Petty swinging over it. Now we're even at 2 apiece. Petty 21 hits on the year, 12 runs driven in, 5 extra base hits for the junior playing third base today. The 2-2. Petty waves and misses over it for strike 3, so Lazert works her way right back into the count, gets a strikeout to start this ball game. Now it'll be the Kingsman shortstop, Charlie Swiger, batting. Swiger, a sophomore, another left-hander, will look to make something happen against Lazert. Swiger bats .491 on the season, .557 on base percentage. Lazert sends a speed ball to the corner, makes it a 0-1 count to start things against Swiger. This is a Penn team, we mentioned, went to semi-state last year, but a large portion of those contributors, 11 seniors on that squad. But the standards are just as high, as a strike makes it an 0-2 count in favor of Lazert. They are, once again, off to a very solid start, 16-2 on the year, facing the team that ended their season a year ago. The 0-2 was outside. We go 1-2. But when certain programs, the standard is to be a state contender every year. That is certainly the case for Penn. Now the 1-2 from Lazert. Swiger pokes it foul. It certainly helps to have several key contributors like Logan Rumble or Caitlin Denny back for another year, but trying to reload after losing 11 seniors, Penn has certainly done a good job of that. Lazert gets ready for the 1-2. Swiger fouls it back to the screen. So stays where she was at 1-2. At 16-2, the only 2 losses for Penn were to Davies County, a top team from Kentucky that Crown Point also lost to, and Lake Central, a team we are very familiar with as currently the top team in 4A. The 1-2 is low and away, evens the count at 2-2. Those are 2 of the 3 losses on Crown Point's record as well. Crown Point 15-3-1 on the year. We'll talk about some of those games after this 2-2 pitch from Lazert. Swiger fouls it to the backstop. The blemishes on the record for Crown Point: an extra inning loss to Lake Central, a loss to Davies County, and a loss to Marist High School out of Chicago, another team that won a state championship last year, and a tie to Lockport out of suburban Chicagoland. Swiger fouls that one away, so stays where she was at 2-2, but both of these teams, very few losses, and those losses all to high-caliber programs playing a very challenging non-conference schedule. The 2-2 fouled over to the netting just on the third base side. It rolls away to the baseball field. Around 6 o'clock, we'll have activity over there as well. The Bulldogs hosting Hanover Central. You can catch that broadcast on all the other platforms you find Region Sports Network content. A busy night here on the campus at Crown Point High School. Lizert's 2-2 pitch is elevated towards left field. Neal charges in and will make the catch for out number 2. So she was after a lengthy at-bat. Swiger gets under it, sends it opposite field, but Neal had a good path and was able to camp out and make the catch. There are now 2 away after a strikeout and a flyout. Logan Rumble now bats for Penn with 2 away and nobody on. Rumble bats right-handed, takes the first pitch at the upper corner for a strike. Rumble batting .566 on the season. One of the top players in program history for Penn, as the 0-1 is high and away. 9 home runs on the season, 40 RBIs, 10 doubles. Back in March, early in the season, she set the career record for home runs for Penn. So nice to have that out of the way early in the year. She goes after the 1-1 pitch, but it was rising, and it pops into the glove of Cuevas. Now it's a 1-2 count. So Lizert ahead here. Lizert gets ready to work in the circle, delivers towards the plate. The 1-2 was low, outside as well. So now 2s are across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Lizert against Rumble. 2 of the top seniors in the area. The 2-2 pitch, it will be the pitcher Lizert who wins this battle. Gets her going after the high heat into the glove for the second strikeout of the inning. That will end the inning in 1-2-3 fashion. We will have the Bulldogs' first at-bats coming up next. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and say go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23rd. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26th. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. So we'll see Scarlett Tegman leading off the ball game for the Bulldogs. She will be opposing Caitlin Denny in the circle. So after a quick inning worked by Lizert, we'll see how her offense can respond as they'll look to try to produce early against a tough pitcher from Penn. Denny 8-0 on the year. She's another senior right-hander, so a good pitching matchup between Lizert and Denny. We'll see just which one is able to make the fewest mistakes with some high-powered batters as well in the lineup. It's not exactly easy to work through either of these batting orders. The first pitch from Denny will be called strike one. Tegman stepped up but did not offer. So Tegman, the Bulldogs center fielder, bats .500 on the season. Mainstay in the leadoff spot the past couple seasons. Here's the 0-1. Tegman sends it on a ride towards left field. Just one hops its way to the fence. Tegman gets to second. for a stand-up double. A big swing puts her in scoring position. So Tegman got a good swing, takes it opposite field. See, it bounces to the wall, just stays in the yard. That could have been a ground rule double, but either way, it results in 2 bases for Tegman. And for Crown Point, that's how you want to start the day. Get the leadoff batter on base for Lulu Johnston to get to work here. Johnston, the sophomore shortstop, steps in. Bats left-handed. Johnston batting .478 on the year with 16 RBIs. She has a chance to add to that total now with Tegman over at second. Real strong swing from Tegman, taking it to left field. The first pitch to Johnston, outside, starts the count 1-0. So now for Denny, you want to try to settle in here after the extra base hit. Attack Johnston here to put an out on the board. The 1-0. Check swing. Did she get a piece of it? Either way, it's a strike, but it might have changed directions as it got to the catcher Wood. And the count now even at 1-1 with nobody out. Johnston, 10 doubles, leads the Bulldogs in that category. The next pitch skips its way to the plate outside 2-1. So a big swing from Tegman to earn extra bases there. Now Denny gets ready for the 1-1 offering. Goes towards the plate. Johnston got that one off the end of the bat. Trying to stay out of the way. It gets the end of the bat foul to even the count at 2 apiece. It's always a tough break as a batter when you're trying to get out of the way and just goes off part of your bats or for a foul ball, and you just have to deal with it. So now the count, 2 apiece. Denny looking for the first out of this inning. Her 2-2 delivery was high, so the count goes full at 3-2. A full count. Johnston trying to see if she could earn a trip aboard the base paths. Tegman's over at second. There's nobody out. The payoff pitch. Johnston taps it down to the turf, and it skips forward. She will hustle down the first base line, earns an infield single, and Tegman advances to third. So, not exactly how you draw it up for Johnston as we watch it again. That gets knocked right down. Third baseman number 20. And Denny, by the chance, she tried to collect it and try to make a throw to first. Johnston was already over. So she just had the only choice to make was to hang on to it to risk an overthrow, and especially with a runner in scoring position. Ashlyn Kita bats with runners at the corners and nobody out. The first pitch is low, allowing Johnston to cruise over to second base uncontested. But Ashlyn Kita now works with 2 in scoring position, nobody out. Kita helping lead the way for the Bulldogs this year with 29 RBIs. Could increase that by a pair. The 1-0. Kita flares it towards shortstop. It gets away from Swiger, rolls into left field. That will allow Tegman to score. And just like that, Crown Point is on the board. Ashlyn Kita drives in a run. Maybe not the hardest line drive, but it gets to Swiger at shortstop. She can't quite collect it. It gets past her. And Tegman was running with contact, was able to score there, and it puts Kita aboard. And now Evie Cuevas will bat. She steps in with 2 on, nobody out, and a run in the bank. Goes after the rise ball from Denny as Kita was starting to make her way down towards second base. The throw meets her halfway, but they opt to then throw towards Tegman at third. Everybody's safe on that sequence. So Kita goes from first to second. Cuevas bats with the count 0-1. Still nobody out in the inning for Denny, and the visitors from Penn. They'll be looking to try to see a way, if there's a way they could generate a few outs. The 0-1 lifted towards right field. It lands in the gap. In to score is Johnston. Kita will cross the plate as well. It's a 2 RBI double for Cuevas. So Crown Point does not stop swinging. Cuevas, with the extra base hit, is able to bring in 2, making it a 3-run first inning for the Bulldogs. And now there will be a meeting at the circle for Penn. And for Crown Point and company, you have to be pleased with how they've been able to produce against one of the top pitchers from Penn, being able to continually put pressure and produce with runners on base. We saw that going back to maybe that Lake Central game where both teams left a lot of runners on. It felt like you left runs on the board. And today, that has not been the case for Crown Point. They've been able to pick up one after the other. A leadoff double from Tegman. Then Johnston gets a single. Kita reaches on a defensive misplay. And then Cuevas drives in 2 with a double. That just makes it a good day all around when your offense, especially at the top of the order, just follow each other up with good swings. Nobody's trying to be the hero and drive one out of the park. You're just putting the ball in play and keeping things moving on base. Now Eva Govert bats. Govert works with nobody out and a runner at second. She takes the first pitch high towards center field. The shortstop will call for it. Swiger makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Good communication there by Penn. Those can be tricky when it's sent sky high in the air but doesn't travel too far into the outfield. That could have been playable for short, second, center field, or maybe even left field. So Swiger let her teammates know she had it, made the catch. That's a big out to get. Keeps, it's a pinch runner for Cuevas, the catcher, as a bunt is lined up along the third base side. They'll throw to first to retire Neal, but she does her job, advances the runner to third with a sacrifice play. And a good job by the Kingsmen to avoid any trouble there. That was a sharp bunt to third base. Petty got to it and threw over to first in time to stop Neal. So there's a pinch runner at third base in place of the catcher. She is 60 feet away from scoring as Elle Chision will bat with 2 outs. Crown Point leads by 3. The first pitch is a strike at the corner. And now for Denny trying to settle in here. The damage being what it is already. 3 runs have scored. You can't get those back, but you don't want to let a good team like Crown Point add another. The 0-1. Skip towards third base. Petty gets to it on the run and throws over to end the inning, but not before the Bulldogs do some damage. 3 runs on 3 hits as we are through 1. It's a 3-0 lead for Crown Point. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
The printer tray to the field. Pulse Technology keeps us moving. For more information about the heartbeat of the Region Sports Network, visit Pulse Technology on the web at pulsetechnology.com We start the second inning with a strike from Lizert to Easton Maston. The 0-1 pitch is low for ball. We go 1-1. Maston playing first base for Penn, as now they have some work to do at the plate, trailing by 3 runs after the Crown Point offense was able to strike first in their opening at-bats. Lizert's 1-1 goes with the rise ball, and it was unable to be caught up to by Maston. Makes it a 1-2 count. Maston bats .354 on the season, 475 OBP, slugging .510. The 1-2 is outside. We go 2-2, or she's actually slugging .708 with 2 doubles, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. Now the 2-2 from Lizert. And she gets her to swing through it for strike 3. Lizert sends Maston back to the dugout. The batter will now be Addison Begonia. And to finish that thought from the bottom of the first inning, for Penn, it was so important to get out of that inning, leaving a runner stranded, because when you're facing a tough team like Crown Point, especially with Lizert in the circle, they don't allow a lot of runs with her pitching, so you couldn't really afford to let that lead grow to more than 3 runs. As Lizert gets Begonia to go after that first pitch, the count opens 0-1. With Lizert just 18 runs on the season. She gets a called strike at the corner. We go 0-2. 18 runs over now 82 1/3 innings pitched. She gets ready for her 0-2 delivery. That's outside, makes it a 1-2 count. So a 3-run deficit. That's a lengthy uphill climb Penn already faces. So you want to try to get those runs back in quick fashion. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Lizert in the second inning. Now the batter will be Kaya Geringer. Lizert has been outstanding so far, striking out 4 of the first 5 batters in the Penn lineup. Lizert was in action in Wednesday's win over Chesterton. Just 2 hits in that one, walked 2 batters, and struck out 8. That's a called strike to Geringer. It was a big win on Wednesday as well. Cuevas had 3 hits, 5 RBIs, including a home run. Lulu Johnston had 2 hits. Tegman had 2 hits. Slovena had 3 hits and 4 RBIs, as Lizert couldn't quite get the spot on that one. The count evened up at 1-1. With 2 outs, nobody on, Lizert fires one to the plate, gets Geringer to go for it, but couldn't line it up. She swung over it to make it a 1-2 count. So Geringer down to her last strike. Trying to make something happen here against Paige Lizert. Here's the 1-2. Outside, we'll go 2-2. But when Lizert gets into a rhythm like this, it's hard for opponents to work their way back into a game, especially when her team puts up 3 runs in the first inning. That's a good spot to be in for Crown Point. The 2-2. Inside, we go full at 3-2. That was close to clipping Geringer, but it spins its way to the glove of Cuevas, so full count. Here's the payoff pitch from Lizert. 3-2 foul just above the hands and ricochets off the backstop back. So we will stay full. 3-2, 2 outs. Geringer trying to keep the inning going. For Lizert, she's trying to retire Geringer, get her bats back up, see if they could add to what was a 3 spot in the first inning. The 3-2 called strike 3. Lizert strikes out the side. She has struck out 5 of the 6 batters she has faced. We go to the bottom of the second. It's Crown Point 3, Penn 0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go! Sports. Here!
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Crown Point begins their second at-bats as the first pitch to Dauphin is high and away for a ball. Northwest Indiana is home, and no one knows it better than Alex Nicola. Born and raised in the region, he's built a top real estate team focused on putting clients first. Visit the Nicola Group on the web at thenicholagroup.com. With the count 1-0 to Dauphin, the next one is inside. We'll go 2-0. Denny stays in the game. She'll be looking to keep the Crown Point bats in check after they were able to produce 3 runs in their opening looks against the right-hander from Penn. Now the 2-0. Dauphin checks on it, and it goes foul. Is bringing the bat forward and almost brought it right into that pitch that was looking high and inside, and it caroms to the fence, and now it's 2-1 to Dauphin, working as the designated player today. And the sophomore has played some infield and catcher, but works with the bat here and stays away from that one, makes it a 3-0 count. Dauphin batting .432. Leads off the inning here. It's always a good sign for the future when you could mix in some underclassmen into this lineup. Dauphin pokes it towards shortstop. Swiger vacuums it up, throws over to first in time for out number 1. So Swiger was bringing the bat forward, just got it below the barrel there and knocked it on the ground towards shortstop. Swiger had no trouble handling that one, and that's the first out. Now Ella Slovena will bat. Slovena playing right field today. Another sophomore batting at the bottom of the lineup, but when you're a program like Crown Point, when a state title is the expectation, Slovena fouls it away just past her team's bullpen. That's always a good boost when you could mix in underclassmen and put them, I don't want to call it a low-pressure role, but in those 8 and 9 spots where you can be a little bit later in the lineup and then can learn from some of those batters ahead, whether that's Kita or Tegman, and then next season or the year after, you take their places at the top of the lineup. The count's 1-1 to Slovena. And this one just comes out of the hand awkwardly of Denny and skips its way to the plate. So 2-1 we go now, but Slovena also finds herself in a spot where, in the 9 spot, you want to set the table for the top of the order, trying to reach base here. The 2-1 is low and inside. We go 3-1. So Denny trying to get her way back into this count against the left-handed batting Slovena. Here we go. The 3-1 off the end of the bat towards shortstop. Swiger shuffles over, gets it, and throws to first. That will beat Slovena. So 2 groundouts to shortstop, and there are 2 away. Now the top of the order batting, Scarlett Tegman for Crown Point. That one just off the end of the bat, cued towards Swiger. She was able to handle it nicely to get the second out. And now for the Bulldogs, trying to see you flip the lineup card back to the top. Tegman, this was the part of the order that made things happen in their first at-bats. Tegman had that RBI double just the leadoff double, pardon me, that barely stayed inside the fence. And when you get your leadoff batter and Tegman on base, things normally fall into place for the Bulldogs. Tegman steps in, but that will be low and away. We go 2-0. See if she can get a hold of another one here and reach base for the second time. the windup and the delivery from Denny, it's low, makes it a 3-0 count. So Tegman now in the driver's seat in this at-bat. She has walked just 9 times this year, but could make it 10. Now Denny's pitch. That's a 4-pitch walk. Tegman is aboard for the second time in this outing. And now the batter will be Lulu Johnston. Johnston, another one of those sophomores in the starting lineup for the Bulldogs. Bats out of the 2 spot, so she's in that much higher role in the lineup and has been there for most of the season. Played a lot as a freshman last year as well. So for Crown Point, she grounds it towards her counterpart in Swiger, who will handle it in time for out number 3. So 3 groundouts to Swiger at shortstop makes it a scoreless inning for the Bulldogs. We're through 2. Crown Point leads 3-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game.
Be sure to stay connected with all things Region Sports by supporting and following us on social media. We're always active on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and online at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. Start of the 3rd inning, it's Harper Rumble leading off for Penn. Lazert fires one outside, starts the count 1-0. Leo Staudeher with you on the call. Mike Dewan producing. Thomas Marsh capturing the action on the camera. Also led by our management team of executive producer Chris Ramirez. But first, Rumble lines it to right field for the first hit of the day for Penn. And Rumble really got a hold of that one. So she breaks up a bit of the rhythm Lazert was in, striking out 5 of the first 6 batters. Just drives one to right field. Got a lot of power behind it. It quickly lands in front of Slovena. That one got to Slovena in such a hurry that it probably took away extra bases from Rumble. And now Addison Zachary will bat. She plays second base and tried to show bunt on that first pitch. Couldn't quite line it up. We'll see if she tries to sacrifice again or if she'll swing away. Again, another high fastball. Couldn't line it up with the bunt. It's another strike. So 0-2 the count to Rumble. Now she'll have to swing away here down to her last strike with a teammate on base. Here's the 0-2. Outside, we go 1-2. But Zachary looking to help her team get their way back in this game, trailing by 3 in the top of the 3rd inning. Called strike 3 at the corner. Zachary caught looking for the strikeout number 6 for Lazert. It's the first out of the inning, and now the batter will be Phoebe Wood. Wood bats with Rumble at first and 1 out. The Bulldogs will bring the corner infielders in. Lazert goes to the plate. Wood with a big swing, but was a little bit behind it. The count starts 0-1. Now Wood batting out of the 9 spot, trying to help get the top of the order back up, especially with a runner on base. Lazert waits for the sign for the 0-1 pitch, goes to the plate. Outside, throw down to second, and they get her. Cuevas throws to Johnston, who applies the tag, and they erase Rumble for out number 2. Let's watch it again. You see Cuevas pop up, throw to Johnston, who is able to follow Rumble. She was trying to swim away from the tag, but Johnston was able to locate her and apply the tag for the second out. The count is 1-1. A foul ball to Wood. But what a play defensively for the Bulldogs. You give up the leadoff single, and then you take her away with a good throw from catcher to short. Now there are 2 down, nobody on base, and Lizert could focus on the batter. The 1-2 pitch to Wood outside. We go 2-2. Now facing Wood with the top of the order looming. You could, if you retire her, then just face the top of the order with a clean look in the 4th. That makes things a lot easier. Here's the 2-2. Tapped foul along the third baseline towards the Crown Point dugout, so the count stays even at 2 apiece. Wood, the senior catcher, looking to see if she could ignite a 2-out rally for her team, batting .477 this year with 21 hits. Now the 2-2 from Lizert. Wood can't catch up to it, swings and misses for strike 3. And Lizert works another quick inning. We're through 2.5. Crown Point leads by 3. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
On-Site Generator Solutions is a locally owned and operated power partner for Northwest Indiana homes. With over 14 years of experience, they handle tasks such as generators, residential electric, plumbing, automotive care, and more. You can find them on Facebook. Give them a call at 219-516-6800 or search them up on the web at onsitegeneratorsolutions.com. On-Site Generator Solutions. Power you could count on every time, everywhere.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point athletics and say Go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23rd. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26th. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. We begin the last of the third inning as Ashlyn Kita leads off for the Bulldogs. The first pitch to Kita is low for a ball. Kita, a recruit to play at DePaul University next season. As there are a few region connections to the Blue Demons. The 1-0 pitch to Kita outside. We go 2-0. Former Lake Central standout Jolie Adams just etched her way into the record books at DePaul, a top 10 batting average in single-season history. So Kita will be joining her in Lincoln Park next season. The 2-0 skips its way to Swiger at short. She steps up and throws over, erasing Kita. And now for Swiger, she's been busy at shortstop. She recorded all 3 outs in the second inning. Now gets the first one of the third. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes you go an entire game without getting anything hit your way, or other times it just everything seems to find you as if there's a magnet in your glove. And Swiger's been busy this evening. And now Evie Cuevas bats with 1 out, nobody on base. She lifts one foul and to the net above the bleachers to start the count 0-1. Pyre almost made the catch, but it just got past his right hand, but we won't charge an error to him for that. as the count starts 0-1. Cuevas had a 2 RBI double in her first at-bat. She works with the bases empty here, trying to start a new rally. The 0-1 is low, makes it a 1-1 count. So Cuevas trying to help her team here as they scored 3 in the first, but had a scoreless second inning. The 1-1. It's low for a ball, and against a tough Penn team, you like having that 3-run cushion, especially with Lazert pitching, but you know this is a good Penn group, and they could score a crooked number in a hurry, so you want to try to continue to add to that lead. The 2-1 called strike 2, so that will even the count. And for Denny at the circle, she's really settled in after that first inning, has been able to pitch to contact. Now she gets ready for the 2-2 and gets Cuevas chasing after that one, rising high and away for strike 3. A nice pitch for her first strikeout of the game. But to wrap up that thought on Denny, look at 4 groundouts, or actually going back to the first inning, 5 groundouts in a row. I mean, she's getting Crown Point batters to swing on top of some of these pitches. After a few doubles in the first inning, she's kept things lower in the zone. So even if you are getting swings on those pitches, they're not able to drive them as well as they were in some of those doubles. The check swing from Govert, the appeal to first base, and that umpire will say she did not go far enough for a strike, so that will open the count 1-0. But she stays away from that one. No check swing there, no reason to. It's a 2-0 count. Govert flew out to shallow center field to Swiger at shortstop in her first at-bat. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Govert cracks it foul to the backstop. Was under that one. Now it's 2 balls and a strike to Govert, trying to keep the inning going for the Bulldogs with 2 away. A non-conference game against Penn. A rematch of last year's semi-state championship. The 2-1 pitch, tapped foul again. Govert just under. Evens the count at 2 apiece. A big week, a busy week for Crown Point, but they've really kept things rolling. Conference wins against Portage and Chesterton. The 2-2. Govert waits for it, but just under it again to send it to the backstop. That was a off-speed pitch from Denny. You could tell she was waiting to start her swing, and just a little bit undercutting it, and foul. The count remains even at 2 apiece. The windup from Denny. Govert sends this one playable to left field to Begonia. Makes the catch as she backpedals towards the fence for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the circle for Denny. We will head to the 4th inning with Crown Point leading 3-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies Proud to recognize the superheroes on the diamond as Lazert speeds in a first pitch strike to Carson Petty. Petty, the leadoff hitter for the Kingsmen. She's behind in the count 0-1. Lazert winds and fires. The 0-1. Outside we go 1-1. So Lazert allowed her first hit in the third inning, but then got some help from her teammates. Cuevas throws her out. So Lazert has still faced the minimum through 3 innings. The 1-1. Strike at the corner. Petty was stepping into it looking to bunt. Her attempt was over, but it was a good pitch from Lazert. A tricky one to try to get to if you're trying to bunt. That one low and away, you would have to reach over and then point it down. But the count 1-2. And it's outside. We will go even at 2-2. So Petty struck out swinging to start the game. We'll look to see if she could get a different result here in her second meeting with Lazert. The breakthrough pitch. 2-2, foul to the backstop. We stay where we were at 2 apiece. But now for Petty and company, you've seen Lazert once. Trying to see if you could find a way to get something going. It might not be the big swing to the fence or anything that leaves the yard, but if you can just play some small ball, get runners on, and move them over, that could help you get back in this game. But they'll have to wait as Petty falls victim to Lazert, striking out for the second time in this game. Lazert sent that one lower in the zone. Petty stepped in and swung over it. 8 strikeouts in the game for Lazert. She's matched her total from the last game, and we're only in the 4th inning. Charlie Swiger bats with 1 out, nobody on. A strike call to open the at-bat to Swiger. And now for Swiger, we've seen her very busy defensively to start this game. We'll see now she can contribute to the offense. The 0-1. Outside we go 1-1. Swiger, a sophomore, batting in the 2 spot here. Waits for the 0-1. Sliced foul towards the Bulldog dugout. That makes it an 0-2 count. It's a Penn group that, with just 2 losses on the season, trying to face another tough opponent in Crown Point. The 0-2, called strike 3 at the corner. Back-to-back punch-outs for Lazert. Swiger will head back to the dugout. And now the last hope in the inning will be Logan Rumble for Penn. Rumble bats and looking to avoid falling in the same fate as her 2 teammates beforehand. Both strikeouts, one swinging, one looking. Rumble fouls one to the screen. Rumble, a Northwestern commit, the program leader in all-time home runs for Penn. Facing another college-bound, Division I-bound player in the circle in Lazert. She'll be heading to Miami, University of Ohio. Count 0-1. Lazert deals. Sends one low. We go 1-1. Lazert's 1-1 pitch. Big swing from Rumble, but can't get to it. That's a strike. The count, a ball and 2 strikes. There have been 11 outs recorded by Lazert. 9 of them have been strikeouts. She's ahead in this count, 1-2. Outside, we go even at 2-2. Now for Penn, you're just trying to find a way to get the timing against Lazert. She's had good life on the fastball in this game, has been able to mix speeds and locations. The 2-2. Foul. Keeps the at-bat going. Rumble stays alive. Now for Rumble, just trying to do what you can against Lizert to try to reach base. She floats it towards the circle. Lizert will step to her right to make the catch. Finishes off another 1-2-3 inning as her team heads back to the dugout, leading 3-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Stratford-Manteau was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratford-Manteau.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Last of the fourth inning at Cynthia Field, it'll be Nia, Chizen, and Dauphin batting as Neal just gets it over the hands, fouls it to the backstop to open the count 0-1. Neal laid down a sacrifice bunt in her first at-bat, so now she will get to swing for real here with leading off the inning with her team ahead 3-0, but all of that offense occurred in the first inning for Crown Point. The 0-1 fouled again, similar spot. This time she got it off the end of the bat. So 0-2 to Neal. Neal batting .348 on the year. 5 home runs, 20 RBIs, a double, and 2 triples. She's behind, down to her last strike. 0-2 the count from Denny. She will fire. The 0-2 called, strike 3 at the lower corner. So Neal strikes out to open the inning. That's the second strikeout of the game for Denny. That's the way you want to start the inning, getting the strike called at the corner to avoid allowing that leadoff runner to reach. As now Al Chizen will bat for Crown Point with 1 out and nobody on. The first pitch inside to Chizen, and the way this game had started, it seemed as if it could be another one of those days that we've seen a lot of for Crown Point, where they are able to score and do it several times, putting crooked numbers on the board throughout the game. But Denny has really locked in after allowing that 3 spot in the first inning, has worked quickly, and this is a Crown Point offense that 185 runs scored and only 41 runs allowed. So they certainly can produce 1 through 9 in the lineup, and just so many of their wins this season, they've scored double-digit runs. As the 1-1 skips its way to the plate, we go 2-1. Scored 23 against Merrillville a week ago, and this is an offense that it seems like it just, depending on the day, it's a different player stepping up each time, and oftentimes several players that have those multi-hit, multi-RBI games. But Denny, all things considered, has kept them quiet, relatively in check here, despite that 3-run first inning. Chizen fouls one along the third base line just in front of the Crown Point dugout, so the count is even at 2-2. Now she gets ready for the breakthrough pitch. Chizen has it curled down the first base line. It lands fair. She will go for 2 and slides in safely as the throw gets away. It might have clipped her on the heel and then ricocheted into left field. So Chizen is aboard. Keeps the inning going for the Bulldogs as she's in scoring position.
First baseman, number 8, Stella.
And so she was just able to get a hold of it, and it just carried further and further, just staying fair, out of reach of the right fielder Rumble. It was first base Maston who was able to track it down, and the throw over to second base. Unable to get to Chisholm, and now it's Stella Dauphin batting for Crown Point. Takes the first pitch for a ball. And that breaks up a bit of a groove that Denny was in. This one bounces its way to second base. Zachary waits for it and throws to first to get the out. Retires Dauphin. It advances Chisholm to third base. There are now 2 away and a runner 60 feet away scoring for the batter, Ella Slavena. It's a good job by Zachary, as that's one bouncing its way 2 hops towards her at second base. She was able to be patient. Sometimes when you rush in on one bouncing like that, it can take that bounce like it's off a trampoline and go over your shoulder. But so by waiting back at second base, she was able to read it better and still had plenty of time to make the throw to first base. Nicely done by Zachary over at second. The count 1-0 to Slavena as this one carries, curls past the Bulldog dugout out of play for a foul ball. So Chisholm is at third base. There are 2 outs, and the batter is Slavena. She grounded out to shortstop in her first at-bat against Denny. Now she gets ready for the 1-1 pitch. That's low. We go 2-1. At the top of the order on deck, Slavena trying to bring them back up to bat here. But the Bulldogs threatening with 2 down. Slavena drives it towards right field, but that will hook foul. She crushed that one. Unfortunately, it was foul. It lands all the way on the walkway near the entrance to the ballpark, but unfortunately that broke foul early from Slavena. That was she got a good swing on it, but it was outside the foul pole, and now she'll look to try to do it again, but a little bit further to the left now with the count 2-2. And for Denny, you can take a deep breath here. She got a hold of one, but it was foul. It didn't hurt you. Now you're still a strike away from getting out of this inning. And the 2-2 pitch rolls its way to the catcher, so we go full at 3-2. It's Denny against Slavena, and here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good movement as it cuts inside. It's a strikeout to end the inning. The Bulldogs will not score. They leave a runner stranded. We head to the 5th inning with Crown Point leading 3-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Addison Pagonia leads off the 5th inning it's Easton Maston leading off the 5th inning as the first pitch is in for a ball. You can stay with us after the game and we'll name the proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. For more information on the apprenticeship program, check out ironworkers395.com. Lizert works with the count 1-0. The next one is high for a ball. We go 2-0 to Maston, who struck out swinging in her first at-bat. Crown Point 15-3-1 on the year. Penn 16-2. A lot of similarities in those records as Maston gets a hold of one but sends it foul towards the similar spot to that long foul ball by Slovena. Out of play for a long strike. We go 2-1. Both teams, some common opponents, both with losses to Davies County out of Kentucky and to Lake Central, who's currently ranked the top team in 4A. Maston loops one towards left field and a diving catch made by Neal for the first out. Anna Neal makes the diving catch in foul territory for the first out of the inning. Takes that one away from Maston. That's one we will certainly remember later in the game as Neal went with the full extension to track that one down for the first out. Good job by Neal out in left field. And now Addison Begonia bats. Begonia fouls it back to the screen. Mentioned about those losses to LC, currently the top team in 4A, and Crown Point will have a rematch with Lake Central on Tuesday. That'll be an exciting one. And of note for Crown Point, as Lizert gets ready for the 0-1 pitch, it's inside. Look at the losses for Crown Point. 6-5 to Davies County, 2-1 in extra innings to Lake Central, and 2-1 to Marist. All three of their losses have been one-run games. The 1-1, swing and a miss, strike two. That means even in the games they've fallen, they have been very competitive. Those are close games where a bounce here, a bounce there could change things dramatically, and those could have been flipped to wins. The 1-2 is high for a ball, and the hope is for Angie Richwalski and her team, you learn from those losses, those close games. You could take back, look at what you could do differently, and take that experience towards the state tournament. Now the 2-2, elevated towards the Kingsman dugout, and it will land in the dugout for a foul ball. Begonia got under it. Trying to track it down was Chisholm, but she couldn't quite reach over that dugout fence. It will be a foul ball. The count goes 2-2. The leadoff batter flew out in left field with a great catch to Neal. Now it's Begonia trying to reach base. The 2-2 pitch. She goes after it, can't catch up to it for strike three. There are now two away for the Kingsmen, and the batter will be Kaya Geringer. So Geringer bats. Last hope for Penn here in the fifth inning. 9 strikeouts for Lizert, the most recent one. 10 strikeouts. 10 strikeouts for Lizert. Foul to the screen. Lizert with 2 strikeouts in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth against a high-powered offense in Penn. That is certainly impressive. The 0-1 drops low for a ball. We go 1-1 to Geringer, who struck out looking to end the second inning. She'll look to try to get a different result against Lizert. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, we go 2-1. But a day like today where Lizert has been ready for a big game against Penn here. The 2-1, called strike two, so that evens things at 2 apiece. But looking back, Lizert had 10 strikeouts over 9 innings pitched against Lake Central. She has matched that. in 4 2/3 against Penn. As that's outside for ball 3, we go full. Waiting for the payoff pitch. Lazert dealing to Geringer. She gets her to rise with it, but can't climb the ladder with it for strike 3. Lazert goes to 11 strikeouts in the game as we are through 4.5. Crown Point leads 3-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's Insurance Professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Athletics and say go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. The first pitch called a ball to Tegman. You can visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23rd. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26th. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. Top of the order up in Scarlett Tegman. She takes the next one for a ball, 2-0. And we'll take a look at the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. This update is courtesy of your neighborhood Strachan Van Til Food Market. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Looking next door to the Bulldog baseball team hosting Hanover Central as Tegman waves and sends one foul towards the baseball stadium. The Bulldogs are tied with Hanover Central 1-1 in the bottom of the second inning. Crown Point threatening with runners at first and second in that contest. So you can find that at all the same places. You can find this broadcast, our Facebook, YouTube, or just at the website as Tegman cracks it foul first base side. But the hometown scoreboard, once again, sponsored by Strachan Van Til. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strachanvantil.com. The count 1-2 to Tegman. She has reached base twice today, had a double and later scored in the first inning, walked in the second. Now the 1-2. Tegman pokes it and lifts it foul over the Bulldog dugout. That was when she was stepping in and just had to make contact as one that was tailing away from her. Had to just send that one away, and now we'll try to see if she could get a pitch that favors her more with the count 1-2, but that was one too late to pull back, so she had to just try to make contact. The 1-2, skip towards third base. The catch made by Petty. She throws over to first, but beating the throw is Tegman. She is able to hustle down the line and earns an infield single to start the inning. We watch it again. Petty makes that basket catch in the transition, just gives Tegman a little bit extra time to fly down the line. Beats the throw. Tegman is aboard for the third time in this game. A double, a walk, and a single. Now Lulu Johnston will bat with a friend on base and nobody out. Johnston fouls it back to the screen. Starts the count 0-1. So Tegman at first. She's always a threat to move. So the Kingsmen will have to be mindful of her. Denny sends the pitch low, and running with the pitch was Tegman. She slides in safely to second for a stolen base. So now she's in scoring position. Tegman with 17 steals on the season. Johnston has the count even at 1 apiece. Waits for the windup. And plays this one foul on top of the netting above, over the bleachers. So they count 1 and 2 to Johnston, who singled and scored in the first inning. Denny still at the circle, has not allowed a run since that first inning. Has had a few base runners since, but has been able to keep them stranded. Now the 1-2. Inside, we go 2 and 2. Johnston had to kind of lean out of the way there. The Bulldog shortstop, Lulu Johnston batting with Tegman on second base. Here's the 2-2. It's outside, and it gets past the catcher, takes a bounce off the backstop, giving more time for Tegman to move over to third base. So the catcher, Wood, looked back, and it just goes into the corner of the backstop. So it takes a carom kind of the opposite way she was expecting towards the first base side. As the initial bounce, it was looking to go towards third. Johnston rolls it through between third and short. It brings Tegman in to score, and the Bulldogs add another. Lulu Johnston reaches base for the second time today, drives in her 17th RBI of the season, as that was between Petty and Swiger. Swiger, the shortstop, had to dive for it. It was past her. That's when, even if she was able to get the glove on it, not sure if there was an out to make there. As Tegman was flying towards the plate, Johnston was moving along the first base line. Ashlyn Keita bats with nobody out, a runner at first, and 1 run in the bank already. Crown Point leads 4-0 after that RBI single from Johnston. That was a big run to get for Crown Point, as they had not scored since the first inning, and it felt like Denny was able to really settle in, as now Keita muscles one to left field, keeps the line moving. Back-to-back singles for the Bulldogs. Now Keita is on base for the second time in this game, and the Bulldogs, this is the start you want for the inning, as you had the top of the order up to start this inning. Tegman singles, Johnston singles, and then Keita singles. Now Evie Cuevas will bat, and that's kind of the approach that's been working for Crown Point. Your top batters up, all of them single, and just produce with runners on base. You can kind of crank up the pressure when you do that. When multiple runners are on, they've been good swings, but they haven't necessarily been line drives or fly balls. They've just been in the right spots for the Bulldogs, and that's been able to help them continue keeping the hit parade rolling here. The 1-0. Lofted towards right field, just past the glove of Zachary, and everybody will move up 60 feet. The bases are loaded with Bulldogs after a single from Cuevas. Johnston goes from second to third. Keita from first to second. Cuevas is at first, and now Eva Govert will bat with the bases loaded and nobody out. Govert looking to see if she could help the Bulldogs with a teammate on every base and no outs. Govert quiet today with 2 flyouts, but what a time to break through. She has 15 RBIs this season. She bats with the maximum on base. Now Denny will request a new softball here, and there's activity, or there seemed like there was activity in the right field bullpen. Now I can't tell if anyone's up there, but I thought I saw a catcher, but that's beside the point. It could be potentially time for a change to be made, and we'll see if Denny can work through and try to produce an out or two here. The first pitch to Govert. Called strike 1. That's the way you want to start the at-bat for Denny, as The Bulldogs are threatening. Govert, a fly out to short and a fly out to left field in her first 2 appearances to the plate, but none of those matter. All that matters right now for Govert and company is what she could do with this at-bat. She evens the count at 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Just misses the outer corner. We go 2-1. Johnston singled. She's the runner at third base. Kita had a single. She's at second. And Cuevas singled. She's the runner at first. So singles the theme here for the Bulldogs. 4 of them in this half inning. Govert fouls the 2-1 pitch to the backstop. We go 2-2. But just situational hitting with runners on base for the Bulldogs, just producing one after the other. That's brought 1 run in, but now there's potential for even more with Govert batting with the bases loaded. Now the 2-2. Govert hooks it foul. We will stay where we are at 2-2. For Denny, you're trying to find a way to get the out at the plate without having to risk those runners advancing. They'll bring the corner infielders in a bit, trying to get the run at the plate. The 2-2 elevated out of play on the first base side. It's the infielders stepping in. If there's a ball in play in the infield, you know they're going for the run at the plate. Crown Point leads 4-0. In the last of the 5th inning, Paige Lazert has been dealing in the circle. The 2-2 check swing. Did she go? She did not after the appeal, so we'll go full at 3-2. But with a 4-run lead and Lazert pitching, if you're Penn, you're certainly thinking that you can't allow the deficit to grow more than it already has, with Crown Point leading by 4. Govert swings above that one for strike 3. Denny is able to get the strikeout for the first out of the inning. Now it's up to Anna Neal batting with 1 down and the bases loaded. Neal was caught looking to open the 4th inning. Now Denny gets ready to face her. Neal can't get to that first pitch with a good swing, but the count opens 0-1. It was a big swing. She was looking to send it for a ride, but it was just a little bit over it. So the count, no balls and a strike. Denny pitching to Neal. The 0-1 called strike 2 at the inner third. For Denny, it was big to get that first out without putting the ball in play, and now she's ahead in this count to Neal. The 0-2 pitch. Neal taps it foul backwards. It remains an 0-2 count. So Neal just able to stay alive, getting a piece of that 0-2 pitch. Let's try it again here. Denny towards the plate. This time it's outside, makes it a 1-2 count. There's activity in the Penn bullpen. The right-hander makes her way back to the dugout. That's the right-hander, Addison. Now the 1-2 pitch. She just gets on top of it, foul towards the Bulldog dugout. But Neal staying alive here. One-two, Neal can't get to the rise ball from Denny. Back-to-back strikeouts. And now with the bases loaded, the Bulldogs are down to their last hope with L. Chisholm batting.
Number 7, L. Chisholm.
The bases remain loaded. There are 2 outs. Crown Point has scored 1 in the inning, but you don't want to leave the maximum on here. They want to try to add to that 1 run. Chisholm grounds it down the third base side. Petty will pick it up and steps on third to end the inning. Crown Point gets 1 but leaves the maximum We will head to the 6th inning with the Bulldogs leading 4-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Harper Rumble leads off the 6th inning. Crown Point leads over Penn 4-0 as the Bulldogs had 4 singles to start their last half inning. Had the bases loaded, were threatening, but then it was a pair of strikeouts and a ground out to leave the bases loaded to end that inning. Crown Point leads by 4, and Paige Lazert returns to the circle. Rumble cannot catch up to that one. The count 0-1. Bulldogs added one more run, had a chance to make it even further, but some good pitching from Denny was able to get her out of that jam, and now it's up to Lazert to keep doing what she's been doing with 11 strikeouts in the game, just 1 hit against. She faces Rumble, Zachary, and then Wood. Now the 1-1. Set towards third base, Kita gets it, throws over to first. That will retire Rumble for out number 1. Now the batter will be Addison Zachary. So Kita was playing in on that one, had to try to make sure it didn't bounce past her, went down to one knee, settled it down, threw over to first. Nicely done with not a lot of time to react to that one by Kita. That's the first out. Now Zachary will bat. She struck out looking in her first meeting with Lazert. She shows bunt here, just couldn't quite jab it down. Misses. It's an 0-1 count to start for Zachary playing second base. Now the 0-1 from Lazert. Swing and a miss. Zachary was trying to get to it, just goes over. So she's down 0-2. Lazert, through 5 1/3 innings, has struck out 11 batters. Looking to make it one more here. The 0-2 pitch outside. It will go 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes from Lazert. Her pitch to Zachary. She swings under it for strike 3, making it 12 strikeouts for Lazert. There are 2 outs in the inning, and the batter will be Phoebe Wood. Wood bats now with no teammates on base, 2 down, and her team chasing 4 in the 6th inning, realizing there's less time than you would like to try to cook up a comeback. Now a warning of sorts being sent over to the Penn dugout by the home plate umpire, but with 4 outs remaining in this game and needing 4 runs, this at-bat carries a lot of importance for Wood. The first pitch from Lazert. Called strike 1. Wood struck out swinging to end the 3rd inning. But even if you can only get 1 run in this inning, that would go a long way for Penn, as you don't want to try to have a 4-run comeback, at least 4 runs, with 3 outs remaining. We'll see what the Bulldogs can do with their last at-bats, or their potential last at-bats in the bottom of this inning. They'll have Dauphin, Slavena, and Tegman due up in the bottom of the 6th. but they lead 4-0. The 1-1 tapped to the backstop, foul. Makes it a 1-2 count. Lizert ahead in the count against Phoebe Wood. But the Kingsmen need base runners, and they need them by whatever means necessary. Now the 1-2. Wood floats it towards left field. It will land. It's a 2-out single. And the Kingsmen stay alive here in the 6th inning thanks to a 2-out single from Phoebe Wood. Wood was just able to loft it out of reach of Johnston ahead of Neal. Put it in a good spot. She's aboard. Just the second hit of the day for Penn. Now the top of the order is back up. Here's Carson Petty. Lizert winds and fires. Petty goes after it but can't get to it. Starts the count 0-1. That was a little bit low. She was swinging above it. 0-1 the count. Petty was showing bunt there. The throw towards second base. Avoiding the tag is Wood as it skipped away from Johnston. So now Wood moves to scoring position. So the aggressive stolen base with 2 outs in the inning. She is safe. The count 1-1 to Petty. Here's the pitch from Lizert. Petty swings through it for strike 2. Now she's behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Lizert gets ready. The windup for the 1-2. Called strike 3 at the corner. That will end the top of the 6th inning. 13 strikeouts for Lizert as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Crown Point leads 4-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
There's a new pitcher in the game, so let's meet the new left-hander from Penn. We will turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. It will be Anna Hake, the junior. We'll get you her numbers as she enters her 7th appearance of the season, a 1.27 ERA. She's 4-0 on the year. She's thrown 22 innings, 23 hits against, 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. She's walked 1 batter and struck out 10. That's your Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for tonight's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. I'll tally up the numbers for Denny and relay those to you momentarily, but it's Hake pitching now. So Hake will look to try to keep the Crown Point bats quiet as the Kingsmen will need to rally down 4-0 here with Stella Dauphin batting. So Hake in the circle. Dauphin 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. First pitch, a ball to Dauphin. So 1-0 the count to the sophomore. The pitch rolls its way in. For Denny on the day, 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 runs. She struck out 5 and did not walk a batter. After that first inning, she really did settle into a good rhythm. And then it was a 4-hit 5th inning that put another run on the board. But she pitched her way out of trouble in that 5th inning, being able to get a couple of strikeouts and a ground out, all with the bases loaded to minimize the damage. The 2-0 fouled away by Dauphin, so makes it a 2-1 count. Dauphin looking to start the inning for the Bulldogs with a base runner, but is ahead in the count, actually, 2-1. This one skips its way back to the circle, just out of the glove of Hake, but the play made by Zachary to recover beats Dauphin. Nice teamwork by the Kingsmen. This caroms off the glove of the pitcher, then Zachary at second base throws over, just like they drew it up. The 1-4-3 ground out to beat Dauphin. And that's good reaction time by both middle infielders. We just saw it on the replay. Zachary was charging over, took a good angle, but just behind her was Swiger, the shortstop. Both of them were ready, as that was a high reach for Hake to try to get to. It goes off the end of her glove, but both middle infielders were following it and were ready on the spot there to make the play. Zachary gets a big out for the Kingsmen. This grounder towards first base gets away from Maston. Zachary's there to recover, but she doesn't have a play to make. Slavena reaches base. And that brings the top of the order up with a runner on and 1 out. Here's Scarlett Tegman. So at first base, Maston had to try to reach to try to dig that one up. It gets away from her and rolls over to Zachary at second. So here's Tegman. She tries to lay it on a bunt, but it goes backward. On top of it, knocked it down, and then it just redirects past the catcher backwards. So a foul ball to start the count, 0-1. Hake gets ready. Tegman has been a tough out to get today. A double, a walk, and a single. Now running with the pitch is Slavena. She slides in safely. Another stolen base for the Bulldogs. It puts her in scoring position. So the count 0-2 to Tegman. Tegman has scored 2 of the 4 runs today for Crown Point. 0-2. Tegman pokes it foul. Swung on top of it. And then it just takes a strange... and no, she's called out. Did she run into that one? So Tegman is out on the play. That might have been interference. She's recorded out. So now there are 2 outs. Lulu Johnston will bat. Johnston lays off the first pitch. It was away. The count starts 1-0. So 1-0, the count to Johnston, who is 2 for 3 today with 2 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. She goes after the 1-0 pitch, was under it, evens the count up at a ball and a strike. So the count 1-1 to Johnston. She stole a base as well. The 1-1, she swings above it this time, makes it a 1-2 count. It was good movement on the pitch from Hake. It started above the plate and then started to spin away, going outside, getting the left-handed batter, Johnston, to swing over it. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3 to end the inning. Crown Point puts a runner in scoring position, can't bring her home. We will head to the 7th inning, where the Bulldogs lead 4-0. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Number 1, Emilia Ducret.
Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point athletics and say go Bulldogs. Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in city services, and encouraging smart growth. As Lizert winds up, sends the first pitch outside for a ball. Visit Bulldog Park on select Saturdays for the Crown Point Farmers Market beginning May 23rd. Purchase wares from 70-plus vendors from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 26th. For more information, visit crownpoint.info/farmersmarket. The 1-0 to a pinch hitter, Emilia Ducret, is a swing for strike 2. So 0-2 to... 1-1, to Ducret. Now we go 1-2, a fastball at the corner. We go 1 ball and 2 strikes for Lizert. She has been outstanding at the circle, facing a pinch hitter in Ducret. Now the 1-2 outside. Lizert deals for the 2-2. It will be called strike 3 at the corner for Lizert. That is her 14th strikeout of the game. And with 2 outs to get, she will be facing Rumble. Rumble will try to make something happen for her team as they trail by 4 runs.
Now batting the right fielder, number 10, Logan Rumble.
So Rumble gets ready to work against Lizert. She pokes it towards second base. Govert will toss over to first, and Chisholm just hangs on for the second out. That was a slow ground ball towards second. Govert was there, threw over to first, and Rumble heads back to the dugout. There are 2 outs, and Easton Maston will bat. The last hope for Penn as the Bulldogs lead 4-0, trying to pick up a big non-conference win in a battle between 2 4A powers. It's a foul ball from Maston, but 2 teams that could make a case for why they could try to take the state championship. But right now, it's the Bulldogs ahead 4-0. The count 0-1 to Maston. Outside will go 1-1. This is there's a chance that either of these teams could meet again in the state tourney. But first things first, you have to take care of things in the regular season. The 1-1. Inside we go 2-1. Crown Point state champs a year ago. Penn state champions in 2023. Lizert steps out of the circle, trying to get on the same page with her catcher, and 2 balls and a strike in the count against Maston, who is 0 for 2 today. Now the 2-1. Maston lifts it, foul over the net and back to the concourse. So she's down to her last strike, 2-2 with 2 outs. Lizert has been outstanding tonight. Just needs one more strike to put a bow on this one. Now the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside will go full at 3-2. So the count full to Maston. Here comes the payoff pitch. That's high for ball 4. Maston keeps the game going with a walk. And that is the first walk of the day for Penn against Lizert. Now Addison Begonia will bat with a teammate at first base and 2 away. Her team trailing by 4, so you can't close the book on Penn yet. It will be tough, but they still have a chance. Facing a pitcher who has been dominant tonight in Paige Lizert. They'll try to see if they can find a way to get runs across the plate with 2 outs in the 7th inning. The first pitch to Begonia. She plays it through the gap into left field. That's a 2-out rally for Penn as Begonia reaches with a single. She saw a pitch she liked on the first offering from Lizert and sent it to left field. Maston is at second. Begonia's at first. The batter now, Kaya Geringer. So Geringer will look to try to keep the 2-out rally rolling here with runners at first and second. Bulldogs will bring the corner infielders in. Lizert winds and fires. Brings the heat for strike 1. Geringer couldn't catch up to that one. But a good pitch from the right-hander Lizert to start the at-bat. Now she gets ready for the 0-1. It's outside. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. With Begonia at first, Maston at second. There are 2 outs in the inning. The batter is Geringer. The opposing pitcher, Lizert. The 1-1 will be a swinging strike. Now Geringer down to her last strike. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 away. But the game on the line here for Geringer. Lizert's 1-2 pitch is outside. We'll go even at 2-2. After a long pause, Lizert brings the 2-2 forward, gets her to swing through it, and that will do it. Strikeout number 14 in the game for Lizert. Puts the exclamation point on a 4-0 win for the Bulldogs, defeating Penn. Lizert was dominant at the circle, and the Bulldogs make it 8 in a row, improving to 16-3-1 on the year. And a big non-conference win over Penn as the Kingsmen fall to 16-3. And we will tally up the stats, hand out some post-game awards. So take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game. On-Site Generator Solutions is a locally owned and operated power partner for Northwest Indiana homes. With over 14 years of experience, they handle tasks such as generators, residential electric, plumbing, automotive care, and more. You can find them on Facebook. Give them a call at 219-516-6800 or search them up on the web at onsitegeneratorsolutions.com. On-Site Generator Solutions. Power you could count on every time, everywhere.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Wrapping things up at Cynthia Field, where Crown Point defeats Penn to earn a non-conference win 4-0. Penn falls to 16-3 on the year. Crown Point improves to 16-3-1. The Bulldogs 9-1 on their home field. They have won their last 8, dating back to that loss against Marist a couple weeks ago. It's now time to hand out the post-game awards. It's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 o'clock in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City. The Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight was, not much disputing this one, Paige Lazert, the starting pitcher, the pitcher of record for the Bulldogs. Lazert went 7 innings with just 3 hits against, no runs, 1 walk that did not come until the 7th inning, and 14 strikeouts. She has been outstanding this season, now with 164 strikeouts on the season and just 13 walks total. She picks up her 12th win of the season. So Lazert was our superhero of the game. Now let's name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was, we'll go with Lazert's counterpart from Penn, Caitlin Denny, the starting pitcher for the Kingsmen, went 5 innings with 8 hits against, 4 runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. The runs bookended her outing, 3 in the first and then 1 in the 5th, but she really settled into a nice groove in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, putting goose eggs on the board. And even in that 5th inning, leaving 3 runners stranded, pitching her way out of a bases-loaded jam with just 1 run scoring throughout that frame after 4 singles started the inning. It was a blue-collar effort for Denny against a tough Crown Point offense. Now moving to the highlight portion of the awards, it's time to name the Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a Union Ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. And tonight's Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game we'll go back to the first batter of the 5th inning. Easton Maston was batting for Penn, and then she was able to lift this one towards left field, but an even better catch made by Anna Neal, diving into foul territory, getting the glove to it, and hanging on for impact, making a diving catch to retire Maston. And that was our Ironworkers 395 Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395, Union Strong. Now time to thank everyone involved with this evening's broadcast, to our management team at Region Sports, executive producer Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and Mike Dewan. To our broadcast crew, Mike Dewan doing a great job producing, and Thomas Marsh working the camera, tracking all of the action. Special thanks to the coaches, Beth Zachary of Penn and Angie Richwalski of Crown Point. The athletic directors, Penn's Jeff Hart and Crown Point's Bill DeRola, and to the viewers across all of our platforms at the IHSAA Champions Network, regionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, Facebook/Region Sports Nation. This is Leo Stauder thanking you for following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Crowell Insurance Company, the insurance superheroes. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. Pulse Technology, leading the way in technological innovation for over 70 years. Visit Michigan City LaPorte, closer than you think, better than you imagine. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.